After many years of overseas service in the military, our hero, John, returns to his hometown with a new aspiration: to become a teacher. He makes application at his old alma mater, Grandview Secondary. The principal, who is at first skeptical of his lack of teaching certificates, is beset by a powerful letter of recommendation from a high-ranking official and so hires John. Before he leaves, the principal tells him that his class is notoriously the worst behaved in the school. John's first day is as disarrayed as warned. He enters the classroom to be met with a scene of utter chaos. Students are sleeping, others are singing at the top of their lungs, some are playing video games, and many are actually cooking instant noodles on a portable stove. No one pays attention to him. He attempts to attract their attention, but they masterfully play death. Ditching the direct approach, John traverses the room, engaging in their current activities. He consults the impromptu cooks about the health risks of excess sodium in their noodle dishes. He continues by going over to a student, Leo, who is playing a ukulele, and offering a helpful hint. Similarly, he cautions a serious gamer about excess screen time and potential radiation. As the students finally begin to notice him, he introduces himself, writing his name and number on the board. A ripple of snickers is passed around the room at his clumsy hand. A student brazenly tells him to leave, an invitation John lightheartedly ignores. The students retreat once again into their spheres. With his patience worn out, John uses a clever gadget made out of chalk and a rubber band to activate the fire sprinkler system in the room. The surprise downpour causes the students to scramble, finally getting their attention. He officially welcomes them to his class. In the afternoon, a group of 5 poor students congregates inside the storage room for an unauthorized smoke break. Their informal group leader, Alex, is caught gazing at a photo of an academic star from another class, prompting teasing lightheartedly from his group members. This group has had a long-standing rivalry with the school's affluent and snobbish basketball squad. The jocks enter the storage room, stereotypically exploiting Alex financially. Alex deliberately drops a bottle on the ground during basketball practice, causing the opposing captain to trip over it. The group laughs, but they are subsequently given a detention by English teacher Miss Chen. They escape punishment by pranking her when she is distracted with her desk, making a quick getaway. At the same time, the school principal is nervous. The Board of Education will withdraw 20% of their annual grant. Board representatives have a planned school tour to observe where funds are being allocated. In John's classroom, in the meantime, students have rigged a swinging bucket of water above the door, which will drench him. But John's combat instincts kick in, and he easily deflects the swinging bucket, leaving the prankster's eyes wide with amazement. John, who is familiar with Alex's routine, asks for his pack of cigarettes. Alex, intrigued, hands them over. John then challenges Leo to give him 3 things found in a cigarette. When Leo gets it right, John instantly gives him permission to remain home from school that day. This sets off a desk-banging frenzy with everyone demanding the same courtesy. After the commotion subsides, John passes around a cigarette with the students and invites them to study it. He knows that simply lecturing on health dangers will accomplish nothing, so he simply invites them to consider the consequences of smoking, describing clearly how tar builds up in their lungs. The students are finally focused and interested in the lesson at last. When the bell rings, they reluctantly hand over the cigarettes. During lunch, the captain of the basketball team spills one of Alex's friends, Ben, and there is an immediate shouting match that erupts into a full-blown food fight and trashes the joint. John is later informed that 5 of his students were temporarily suspended for provoking the fight. He encounters Alex in the midst of the melee with his archenemy in the hallway and separates them. When instructed to quiet down, Alex stubbornly accuses the school of partiality, pointing to the rich kids' inability to be disciplined. Later in the night, John reads the case files of the suspended 5 boys. He learns that Leo, a child of an immigrant family, daily lives with discrimination and unfair charges of theft within his community. His dream is to become a musician. The second daughter, Maya, has never felt that she was worthy in her father's eyes, who had hoped for a son. She's attempted throughout her life to gain his respect, even getting a short haircut and playing with toy cars, but her father seems to fawn over only her baby brother. And then there are brothers Sam and Chris. Their mother abandoned them as children, driving their father into alcoholism. The brothers relied solely on each other, with Sam escaping into computer games and Chris working tirelessly at a supermarket to support the family. John finds nothing on Alex's family background at last. In the next scene, we see Alex working as a wait person in a restaurant. A sports gambler and MMA fan, Victor, enters with business partners. Alex attempts to pilfer Victor's fancy lighter, but is caught. Victor's goons rough him up while Victor examines Alex's ID. Learning he's a student, Victor gives him some cash and hires him as a delivery person. John elsewhere visits Leo at home and finds him fleeing from his father and his guards after he has stolen a concert ticket. John initially helps Leo, but since he now knows why they were pursued, John joins the father. John and Leo later spend time at a bridge. In an effort to encourage Leo to pursue his ambition, John enters a street band, singing with them. A short while later, Leo, having spent years of being bullied, steps forward and sings in public for the first time. Meanwhile, Sam and Chris's father returns home late as usual and demands to have beer. The brothers refuse, and he yells to leave them. The next day, John sits down with their father and talks him into going into rehabilitation for the sake of his sons. At the same time, Maya's dad gives her a makeup bag and instructs her to act like a girl. Angry with his constant recurring invalidation, Maya paints cosmetics on her younger brother and takes away her dad's car keys. Just as she is ready to drive off fast, John catches up with her in the nick of time.
He explains the dangers of driving without a license and provides a remedy. They visit a go-kart track where John also invites Maya's father and arranges for the two of them to have a race. Father and daughter show no quarter, their competitiveness propelling them off the track. A car then crashes into Maya's go-kart, but she is able to get away. Her father, assuming the worst, cries in despair, mourning for his daughter. Maya realizes he does care, and they embrace. The following day at school, Sam and Chris and a group of students have an assignment to interview a recovered alcoholic at a rehabilitation center. To their surprise, they find their own father in the group to be interviewed. The students ask him how he started drinking. He explains to them that he loved his wife very much, but walked away when he was at his worst, and thus he resorted to alcoholism and forgot his two sons. Without explaining their affair to them, he apologizes to the brothers and they end up crying. Meanwhile, Alex becomes employed by Victor, the MMA bookie. Victor pays Alex a substantial fee to dope a fighter's drink in a future bout. Alex hesitates but is coerced into doing it. The day of the fight, Victor sponsors one of the fighters but places a bet on his loss in secret. Alex successfully dopes the fighter's drink but is caught doing it. Before he can implicate Victor, he is beaten and locked in a locker. Sometime later, John shows up, inquiring about his student from the fighters. They attempt to brush him off, but Alex, inside the locker, screams for help. Recognizing his student's peril, John assaults, overpowering the men with ease. When other fighters appear, the fight becomes more vigorous, but John dodges them with ease. He finally knocks out their best fighter, the one due to fight in a few minutes. In the following scene, John is hospitalized and treated for his injuries. Alex attempts to expose Victor, but John shushes him. All find out about the courageous act of John, and he becomes famous as the teacher who saved his student by pummeling a professional boxer. His popularity in school grows, and students begin to respect him. They even rise to greet him to the class, a total turnabout from before. A flashback shows John's own history as a troublesome student. He used to squirt water balloons at a student playing piano in front of parents at a function. He subsequently fought the same student and broke his hand, resulting in his suspension and ultimate leaving for the States. Since the day, students sit through John's class and work diligently on the approaching college entrance exam. Everyone is getting better, all except Ben, who is pill-dependent. It appears that while Sam had an outlet in video games, Ben used drugs. His inability to focus leads him to a dismal performance in the mock entrance exam. John promises him that he will help him, but Ben gets more despondent. Later on, he leaps off his house balcony. He is rushed to the hospital and goes into a coma. The media sensationalizes the event, with John and the school being blamed for what Ben has committed. The education board officials interview John and suspend his teaching license. As he is preparing to leave, the students chase him, pleading with him not to leave. Resentful of his absence, they promise to ace their next examination to make him proud. They work twice as hard to prove to the board that John is an excellent teacher. On the day of the exam, Alex and his friends receive a message from John inviting them to come to school an hour before the test. Upon coming, they learned that this was Victor's trick to trap them so that they would not be able to reach the exam hall on time. Victor does this as a lesson to John. Later on, John arrives at school, learns of Victor's conspiracy, and saves the children. He then battles Victor's henchmen, eliminating them to rescue the children. The children escape, fleeing towards the exam room as John has a one-on-one battle with Victor. During this, Victor confesses that he was among the students whom John water ballooned many years ago. John's actions had broken his arm and he was not able to take part in a major music competition. Victor has never laid hands on a piano since then and holds John responsible for destroying his dream. John tries to talk to him but is attacked again. They struggle over a knife. He is finally able to overpower him, having the option of killing Victor, but he does not. He apologizes for his past actions and departs. The students arrive in the examination room right on time and complete their test. A few weeks later, they all pass with excellent results. Victor resumes playing the piano again, though he has plenty of practice ahead of him to regain his previous skill. Ben recovers well and vows to sit for the entrance test next year. The head is thrilled. The board not only reverts the reduced grant, but awards them a 20% increase due to the performance of the students. John resumes teaching and, true to form, uses his fire sprinkler trick on another group of students.